The following is a presentation of TBS Sports.
Like a lightning bolt in the dark, Olga Korbut captivated the world at the '72 Olympics and placed the sport of gymnastics firmly atop the world stage. Olga will perform again tonight with 3 other legends, including the young lady with the perfect 10, Nadia Comaneci. Her name will forever be linked with perfection and beauty. America's first darling of gymnastics, Mary Lou Retton, will also take center stage. She hard-charged her way into our hearts during the '84 games in Los Angeles and is still doing the same today. And finally, the newest queen takes her bow, all-around world champion Kim Zmeskal. All this and more tonight on U.S. Olympic Gold. Hello everyone, I'm Nicole Watson. Welcome to U.S. Olympic Gold. Tonight's program is a special treat. It's Hilton's Superstars of Gymnastics, which has brought together some of the legendary names in the sport. In 1972, I remember watching the Olympic Games and being inspired by a young Russian gymnast. Tonight, at the age of 37 and the mother of 3, Olga Korbut will be performing again. You'll also see the first female gymnast to receive a perfect 10 in Olympic competition, Nadia Comaneci. And as if that's not enough, America's dynamo of the 1984 Los Angeles Games, Mary Lou Retton, will step out on the floor as well. Along with the brightest hope for U.S. gold in Barcelona, world champion Kim Zmeskal. And later on, we've got an Olympic gold tribute to the athletes of the 25th Olympiad. So get set for a very entertaining night. Now let's go out to Jim Simpson at the Great Western Forum in Los Angeles.
The Great Western Forum in Los Angeles. The Forum, where many exciting and historic sporting events have played out to memorable championships. And tonight, an event that reflects history, unforgettable moments of the 1984 Olympic Games, and at the same time showcases today's stars. Welcome to the Hilton Superstars of Gymnastics. And good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Simpson. Try these names on for size. Nadia Comaneci, Mary Lou Retton, Kim Zmeskal, the current world champion, and throw in the girl who started it all way back in 1972, Olga Korbut. There are a lot of legends here, including one working with me, a silver medalist from 1984 of the American team, Kathy Johnson. Kathy, let us talk about today's stars. We'll get back to the legends in a moment.
Well, Jim, since the 1984 Olympic Games, when we won all those medals, the most exciting thing to happen to USA Gymnastics was last fall when the U.S. women won the first ever silver medal in team competition at the World Championships, and Kim Zmeskal became the first American ever to win the world all-around title. Very exciting. They're all here tonight. And the U.S. men are certainly on a rise. They had their best finish ever since 1984. They finished 5th at the World Championships.
1984 was the big year for the men, and we have 4 of those men from that '84 Olympic team with us tonight, including one who's working for us. Let's go over to Tim Daggett.
Well, we're here with 3 of the stars from that 1984 men's gymnastics team. Actually, I've been told you guys are legends. Mitch, I've heard that you plan on introducing several new elements to the sport of gymnastics here tonight.
That's correct, Tim. I plan on doing the Gaylord 3 on parallel bars, which is a triple back salto, landing directly in the handstand with my toes pointed. Well,
8 years after he competed. And Peter Vidmar, the captain of the team, what does it feel like to be back in Los Angeles?
Well, first of all, I did that skill last week, Mitch, so it's old news. But it's great to be here. I think the hardest part is getting through this interview because we're having too much fun joking around, but it's a thrill. It's great to be back with the guys. Remember, there's 4 legends here, I guess, if you want to call us that, because you're here, Tim.
They didn't invite me. Bart, we hear that it's been 8 years for you also, and you actually need help to get through your exhibition tonight.
Yeah, that's why I invited a couple of little ladies to help me. Paul Hunt's 2 little girls, Jessica and Lindsay, and we choreographed a thing that I think you'll enjoy. It's pretty fun.
Well, we're looking forward to it, guys.
And they get younger. Hillary Grivich, 14. That's an average age these days. From Huntsville, Texas. She drives 125 miles round trip every day to train with Bella and Martha Carolla. The 1990 junior champion, Hillary Grivich. And she's into floor exercise.
And back at the World Championships last fall, winning the silver medal, she had a lot of pressure on those young shoulders of hers. She led the American team on every single event, going up first. And that is a very difficult position. Full twisting double back. This is certainly an experience for these young gymnasts, performing on the same floor with most likely their idols and the legends of the sport. She just pulls those double backs right around, knows right where the floor is.
Little package of dynamite. Hillary Grivich, 4 feet 8, 14 years old. She weighs 81, and she's a champion whose dream is a medal in the Olympic Games.
This is her second pass. Now watch the first skill she does. It's called a whip back. It's like a back handspring, but with no hands, and right through to a double back.
And we'll come back to the Forum in Los Angeles with more of the Hilton Superstars of Gymnastics in just a moment.
U.S. Olympic Gold, a TBS Sports exclusive, is being brought to you by the Beverly Hilton. Join us this summer in the heart of Beverly Hills. And by Coca-Cola Classic. You can't beat the real thing.
U.S. Olympic Gold welcomes you back to the Hilton Superstars of Gymnastics and a 15-year-older from Edmond, Oklahoma. A couple of 10s on a recent trip to Europe in the balance beam, but tonight it is not the balance beam. Shannon Miller is on the bars.
And she won a silver medal on this event at the World Championships. And in fact, she's even improved the routine since last fall. She has 2 new skills, the first of which is incredibly exciting. I've only seen one other woman do it, Chusovitina of the former Soviet Union. And it comes up right here. It's a full twist recap. It's called a Thomas, invented by Kurt Thomas on the men's high bar. Really smooth, reverse hecht. She has a nice dismount sequence, full pirouette, right into a full twisting double back.
Done.
Oh, boy.
Well done.
I'll tell you what, this routine can stand up to anyone in the world.
9th grader from Edmonton, Oklahoma, Shannon Miller, and gets a hug from her coach. Fine performance for Shannon. And now Chris Waller, veteran of the men's Olympic team.
He's probably one of our top gymnasts at this point, and he is going to showcase his best event, pommel horse. He's brought home just about every medal that you can on this event. National champion, NCAA champion. Most difficult element will be right here. He'll travel the whole horse in flare while turning his body the opposite direction. He's circling, very difficult. Chris also has improved his difficulty. He's traveling back all the way across the horse. The thing that's so hard about pommel horses, you never get a break at all. No stops, no time to catch your breath. And he needed a little bit of time right there, and he said, I'm going to take it. His handstand.
It is not competition, Tim, but it is performance for some of the legends of the sport here. And Chris Waller and the rest of them are feeling the pressure. Well, we all know her. If you haven't known her the last couple of years, you haven't been following gymnastics. Kim Zmeskal, the current world champion out of Houston, Texas, where she grew up and dropped in on Bella Caroli one day, and here she is.
One of Kim's greatest attributes, at least according to Bella Caroli, is her ability to really concentrate and focus during a competition. In fact, Kim even admits it herself. She's much better in competition than in practice.
That probably drives some of her teammates a little crazy, Kathy.
2 layouts in a row. Now, keep in mind these gymnasts are performing with spotlights. That's something they don't normally do in competition.
Just like you, she walked like you do. I thought it was you. As she turned the corner, I called out your name. I felt so ashamed, but it wasn't you.
Kim certainly hopes to follow in the footsteps of 2 former gymnasts of her coach, Bella Caroli. Of course, Nadia Comaneci and Mary Lou Retton,
Whom we will see later.
It's a double back. Great landing. Something she was known for at the World Championships. Every single event she came up with that great landing.
And as you said, Kathy, the only American woman ever to win a gold in the Worlds.
Here's her most difficult pass on the balance beam. 2 layout step-outs in a row. You can see she had to check her balance a little bit. I have a feeling that had a little something to do with spotlights.
It all started back in 1972. It all started with Olga Korbut.
Now watch this. Watch this. Back summy right to the other bar.
Has that been done before by a girl?
Never. Not by any human that I know of. Look at that. And she's second best. I don't believe it.
This, then, is a historic performance you're watching right now in gymnastics.
She's Kathy Rigby's size. Oh, my... Wow!
Olga Korbut, who started it all in 1972 at the age of 17 years. That's old almost by today's standards, but she's the one who set the standard for those to follow.
And no one has captivated an audience more than Olga Korbut in her very special way. She was so charming, and she loved the crowd, and the crowd loved her.
Now 37 years old, but still the darling of the crowd.
Jim, I watched her warming up, and I believe she's going to do the routine she did in 1972.
I have a good opportunity to say, everyone, everybody, thank you for remembering me and loving me. And today I perform from my heart, and everything I do for you. Thank you again.
Well, she still makes you smile, I'll tell you.
20 years ago, Munich, now 1982 at the Forum.
Different music, but a lot of the same movements.
Nothing need be said.
When 14-year-old Nadia Comaneci arrived in Montreal for the '76 Olympic Games, only a few insiders knew what she was capable of. Perfection. The scoreboard, however, could not accommodate the 10.0, so they flashed a 1.0. Nonetheless, it was the first perfect 10 in Olympic history. At home in Romania, in preparation for those games, she had revolutionized the sport under the tutelage of her soon-to-be famous coach, Bella Caroli. Everyone was in awe of her physical strength and power, her innovativeness, her uncanny ability to perform perfectly under pressure. She showed no weaknesses, effortlessly performing skills that had never been done before. Every now and then you could see the little girl shine through as she tumbled and danced her way to 7 perfect 10s, and a total of 5 golds, 4 silvers, and 1 bronze during her 2 Olympic Games. Her impact was immediate and will never be forgotten.
They wrote a song about her, as we said, Nadia Comaneci, 3 golds, 2 silver, 1 bronze in Montreal in '76, 2 golds, 2 silver, 1980 in Moscow, and now here she is in 1992.
These chains around me, gonna learn to fly again. Maybe hard, but I'll do it. When I'm back on my feet again,
What a few moments we've experienced. Nadia Comaneci and Olga Korbut in the same segment on U.S. Olympic gold, and there's more to come. Mitch Gaylord, team gold medalist in those memorable 1984 Olympic Games here in Los Angeles, also took a silver in the vault and bronze medals in both the rings and parallel bars. Yet 8 years later, in 1992, Mitch Gaylord says he is nervous to be on the floor with today's stars.
I think I'm going to be really nervous, to be honest, because it's been a while since I've done this, and I know that the new gymnasts coming up are very much in shape and look great, and hopefully, you know, people won't expect the same thing from us as they're going to expect out of them, or what we used to be able to do. But I'm just going to have fun. I'm really looking forward to it. You know, the new family's going to be there, and my old family, and a lot of people from this area that I know are going to be going. So it'll be fun. It's kind of like we're all going to be reliving it a little bit. But last night, I met Olga Korbut for the first time, and Nadia I had met one other time, and Mary Lou was there. It's like the three legends of women's gymnastics were all in one room, and it was pretty cool. I thought, wow, this is neat.
Tim Daggett, you're going to have to describe what he's going to do, because I didn't understand what he was telling you he was going to do in your interview.
Well, Mitch was certainly playing around 8 years since Mitch competed in the sport of gymnastics, but quite a champion he was. Chose to do parallel bars, just one of the events he medaled on many times throughout his career. Still looks pretty darn good too. This skill right here, he'll go right to the L and just freeze it in that position. Mitch is an actor now. He has a sense of theatrics, and we saw that on that straddle cut catch, I think, Kathy. Double back somersault and just a small step backwards.
Now 31 years old, still living in the area in Van Nuys, California. Mitch Gaylord.
Let's take a look at his dismount one more time here. Spots and all. Double back somersault. Real nice pop off the bars. And Mitch always knew where the ground was, even 8 years after competition.
And there's a teammate of Mitch Gaylord's yet to come up. The blonde fellow we hear on television and remember so well. Let's meet him. Bart Connor took the Olympic gold in parallel bars in 1984, second gold with the team. He's been a world champion in parallel bars. Yet it is the Olympic team gold in 1984 that excited Bart Connors the most. He tells us about it now.
I think probably the point when I realized that we really did legitimately have a chance to win was about halfway through the compulsory round. And as I'm sure you remember, that feeling of when we were really cooking, we were really on, and things were just falling into place. And I remember Jim Mikas, our alternate, he had a little clipboard and he was keeping track of scores. And it seemed like it was vaulting. I don't remember what event it was, after vaulting. But maybe after rings, I don't remember. But he said, hey, at this point you guys are 3/10 ahead or a point ahead. I don't remember the number. But I remember that moment because I remember thinking, oh my God, we're in first place. I didn't expect to be in first place ever during that competition. As you know, we all felt that we had a legitimate chance at a bronze, maybe a silver medal. But to all of a sudden be in first place and realize what that meant, that if we continue at this pace, we could be the Olympic champions. That was the biggest thrill to me.
And now in the forum, Bart Connor, 14-time NCAA All-American, wearing his usual gymnastics outfit.
Yeah. I don't think Bart has competed too many times in this get-up here. He's enlisted the help of two young sweethearts. You'll just love this.
I was born to make you happy. Think it's just my style. Everywhere I go, tell everyone I know that I love to see you smile. Don't want to take a trip to China. Don't want to say it up tonight.
was actually Bart's best event in competition.
We never saw those moves in '84, though.
Yeah. We saw something like that, though.
You better be glad no judges are here. Unpointed toes, walking on his hands. All major deductions in competition.
No deduction from the crowd, though.
Bart better be careful. These two little ones, I think, are going to steal the show here. A little bit of spot there. I bet you're all thinking at home, yeah, my kids, they behave just like this.
What a thrill for these youngsters.
These little girls are actually the daughters of one of the most successful gymnastics comedians in the business, Paul Hunt's children. She could steal your heart, that's
maybe
for
another
sure.
Kim Zimesco.
Could be.
We'll come back to the Los Angeles Forum and more gymnastics on U.S. Olympic Gold after this.
July 31st, 1984, the 23rd Olympiad. Peter Vidmar, the captain of the U.S. gymnastics team, is the final competitor in the team championships. It was a storybook ending to a day that few envisioned possible. His 9.95 on the high bar gave the U.S. team a gold medal, defeating the world champions, the People's Republic of China. It was a moment that called for celebration. But Peter's work wasn't done.
When I went into the finals, I knew I needed a 10.0 to win. And I remember as I started off my routine, it had to be perfect. So I went all out from the beginning. I didn't pace myself. And when you don't pace yourself, you cramp up, you get fatigued at the end of the routine. I started to feel those cramps halfway through my routine, and I started to panic. I thought, oh no, you better water down your routine. You better do something different, because you're going to fall off. You don't have any energy left. And I think that little panic attack gave me the adrenaline that I needed to say, no, you're going to do everything you trained for. Do the hard dismount. And I did it. I didn't know if it was going to be a 9.9. I didn't know if it was going to be a 10.0. When I landed, I told myself, you know, silver medal's something to be proud of. Don't worry about it. The silver medal's okay. And then I saw the 10, and I was mighty surprised. And it was great. And it was the one that I wanted to win for my coach.
And now, in 1992, teammate of Tim Daggett's on the event that he loves the most and has had the most success, the pommel horse. Here's Peter Vidmar.
Crossing his fingers, I don't think he needs to do that. This was his best event by far. Pete actually swings pommel horse quite a bit. Still, as you can see, just about at his 1984 form. Beautiful flares on the pommel horse. Nice shot of just how critical the hand placement is. Scored a 10 in 1984, Olympic champion Peter Vidmar.
I'll give him a 10 tonight.
I think we got to talk to him about making a comeback. Unfortunately, he'd have to do 5 other events as well.
And he has to be about 10 years older before he can do that one.
Boy, am I happy.
You must have been a beautiful baby. You must have been a beautiful child. When you were only starting to go to kindergarten, I bet you drove those other childs wild. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, when it came to winning blue ribbon. Well, I bet you taught the other kids how. Well, I can see the judge's eyes as they handed you the prize. I bet you took the cutest bow. Yeah, you must have been a beautiful baby. 'Cause baby, won't you look at you now? Come on, blue.
And now, a married woman of 24, the first woman ever to win a gold medal in gymnastics for the USA, Mary Lou Retton, at the Forum in Los Angeles. Los Angeles, the site of her greatest triumphs. A motivational speaker now. Wants to get into television work, and remember, she is very tiny, very tiny. Less than 5 feet tall. And looks in better shape now than 8 years ago to me.
You just read my mind. 8 years later, and she looks terrific. You won't believe this.
Holy mackerel.
Has she still got all the power in the world?
Oh, my.
She didn't even do in 1984, a double twist.
Oh, God. But she just loves it. You just look at her, you have to smile. You just... Oh, she's great.
Not even the amount of applause has changed in the 8 years she's been in Los Angeles. In 84 with the team, and now in 92 helping the team. Mary Lou Retton.
I was teasing her in warm-ups when I saw her do this double twist. I'd never seen her do one before.
And she does it good. She doesn't just do it.
Fantastic. I don't know about you, Tim, but I am having a kick.
And we will meet Mary Lou, as well as Nadia and Kim and Bella, when we come back to the Forum.
It's over. Thank you. It's over. I don't know about you, but this is a kick for me. I get to see my idols, my teammates, and the future of USA Gymnastics right here under one roof. And I had even more fun before the event when I got to talk to Nadia, Mary Lou, Kim Zmeskal, and their coach, Bella Caroli. Bella, look at this group. You have got to be proud. What is your first, if you had to describe this group of gymnasts right here, how would you describe them?
Gosh, what can be more satisfying in career of a coach, to see your star students together, and that's a work of 25 years. Starting back in those older times, 70s with Nadia, continuing with Mary Lou in 84, then right now with Kimbo going up into the 5th Olympic Games. That's a great moment, and I don't believe can be more satisfying than this.
Nadia, all these gymnasts basically followed in your footsteps, so they had someone to look up to idolize. Who did you have, or did you have anyone? Because you never think of Nadia in awe of anyone.
Well, it was for me. I had an idol, and my idol was Turisheva. And I always dreamed to be like her, and I never thought that I would have a chance to compete with her and to win. And she was my idol. I wanted to be like her. For me, she looked great, and everything she did was perfect for me. And I tried to do what she did, and I did it.
Well, let me tell you, that's my surprising, but it's very, very interesting to hear. It's very surprising to me because all those many years, I never did realize, you know, Nadia is looking up to somebody. Now I'm looking back and start to recall, you know, her gestures and personality during the competition was the same, very imposant, very sturdy, very serious. And gosh, I realized, no, that's not me. That's Turisheva was David to you. But that really was neat. That's really neat, you know, to hear that. But because it's 100% right, you know.
Mary Lou, sitting here. What is your feeling now, sitting listening to Nadia and Bella talk and know they paved the way, sort of, for you to come? What does that feel like?
Oh, I feel like one of the luckiest, most fortunate people in the world. Because, I mean, it's so funny how you see the cycles. Nadia, who was my idol. I mean, I can remember back in 1976, I was 7 years old. I was, you know, laying on my stomach, glued to the television, watching her. And I said to my mother, I said, Mommy, said, I'm going to be just like her. You know, my mom patted me on the head. She said, sure, honey, sure, you know. And she is the one that got me started. So it's nice to see how each generation has someone to look up to. And when I first met Bella, I saw him, I think it was at a competition, and oh my God, Bella was there, you know. He was Bella Carolla, he was gymnastics. And when we kind of got together and we kind of said, hey, would you train me? Would you, know, come down to Houston and do that? I was so surprised. I said, this guy sees a potential in me. I mean, little Mary Lou from Fairmont, West Virginia, I mean, which Fairmont was not the hotbed of gymnastics at that time. I was just very thrilled that he saw potential in me and that we were able to come together as a team, as Nadia and Bella did before, and make the success that we did in '84.
Kim, what is it like for you now, sitting here? I mean, third generation down here, and you're still going after it with a very big competition ahead of you.
Well, it kind of makes me nervous sitting next to these two, but knowing that they put in their time and what they got out of it just pushes me to want to try even harder and hopefully repeat what they did.
Do they ever just pop up in your mind every now and then, like either on the competition floor, in strange places, all of a sudden you think of Nadia, what did she feel like here, or Mary Lou? Does that ever happen?
Well, it's kind of weird because I never remember watching Mary Lou being like unhappy or anything in the gym, and I'm always like, how is this possible?
I was Kim several times.
I've never seen
good actress.
Now, I know this is going to be hard to try and pick out your most vivid or most special moment in gymnastics, but what would it be?
Well, almost everybody knows that the most incredible moment in my life was after I finished the compulsory exercise at the bars, and I got that first perfect 1.00. That's supposed to be a 10. That was the most unbelievable moment in my life.
I remember watching her, and the score showed up 1.00. All right? Yeah. This is a true story, I swear. I was at my first competition. After watching her, I started in my gymnastic lessons. I was probably about 2'5". I was this tiny, tiny, tiny. I could not do bars at all. I'm at my first competition. It was in Parkersburg, West Virginia. I remember this. My coach spotted me throughout this whole bar routine. All right, and every time a coach touches you, it's a point off. I fell a couple times. I put my hands up in the air, and they flash a 1-0. I'm thinking, I got a 10 because I remember watching Nadia get the 10. Oh my God. I was 7 years old. I really and honestly was convinced I got a 10, just like Nadia. And my coach had to tell me that it was a 1, and I think I cried.
At least he didn't say that's called a grace 1-0. Well, I never scored a 10.0 or a 1.0, but I sure came close to both. Stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
Our final performer of the evening, Kathy, Kim Zmeskal, had quite a performance in the Worlds last year in Indianapolis.
And this was tremendous. Watch the landing. You can't do it any better than that. And at a more opportune time than at the World Championships. Of course, that wonderful U.S. team won the silver medal.
And Kim got a perfect 10 for her vault in the Worlds. And a big kiss from Coach and a big lift from Coach Bella Caroli. And now, at the Forum, our final performer, the world champion, Kim Zmeskal.
And this was the event where she clinched her all-around world title. Her trademark pass. Listen to the crowd on this one.
And it's like that every single time.
She doesn't need the judges to give her a 10 here. I think the crowd will do it.
What a great way to end a great evening.
This is just dynamite. Count them. 1, 2, 3 whipbacks. And she's not done yet. A high double back.
And our evening is over. The Hilton Superstars of Gymnastics on U.S. Olympic Gold. We'll be back in just a moment with a few final comments on a wonderful night.
U.S. Olympic Gold, a TBS Sports exclusive, has been brought to you by the Beverly Hilton. Join us this summer in the heart of Beverly Hills. And by Coca-Cola Classic. You can't beat the real thing.
U.S. Olympic Gold is back in the Forum in Los Angeles. A very unusual and exciting night. I've never seen many nights like this in any sport. Tonight's spotlight was on gymnastics, of course, Kathy, and it was an unusual night.
Jim, what can I say? I cannot remember enjoying a gymnastics performance more. It was fun to see Olga, Mary Lou, Nadia, and exciting to see the future of USA women's gymnastics looking so bright.
And Tim Daggett, you were back with the old folks again, your teammates from '84.
Oh, it was great. You know, we did something together that, you know, is so special to me, and to see these guys on the floor and still out there and looking pretty darn good, I have to tell you, it was wonderful. The young guys, they're doing great. I think we have some high hopes down the road in Barcelona.
Well, I enjoy